This is Kusum from Emerging Leadership Program. We have prepared our project in customer satisfaction after delivering a service. We are a team of 3 people, including Delli, Chetan and myself Kusum. So, in today's time, customer satisfaction is a top priority. We'll be discussing about the below various points to improve the customer satisfaction, to know the reason why customer is not happy. Why customer satisfaction is important. Problem discussion, ways to improve customer satisfaction, customer program activities, key points to customer satisfaction, measuring customer satisfaction, different forms of measurement, understanding the satisfaction drivers, steps to resolving client complaints, key improvements and avoiding the pitfalls. Why customer is not happy? Why customer satisfaction is so important? So, we have a study done by Libioff, and as per the study, there are 69% of customer dissatisfaction because of attitude of the managers, employees and all. And there is 14% dissatisfaction is due to product issues. There are many other reasons, but this is the major concern why customer is not happy. And because of the attitude of the manager and employees, they probably have many complaints. They come back to and say they are not happy with the behavior of the employees and all. So we'll be discussing about the problem and their solutions in the coming slides. Problem discussion. The customer is getting demanding day by day into the rapidly changing business models and IT infrastructure. Industry changes with budget constraints, increase the time, efforts, and often results in defects and giving the tough competition. It is very challenging to keep the customer happy in today's time. There are many ways to improve the customer satisfaction. Effective communication, which is very important. To understand the requirements perfectly, to deliver the message in a proper way, to communicate in clear and concise way, formal communication, good body language. There are many things which comes under effective communication. So employees should consider all those points and make the customer happy. Focus on measuring customer satisfaction. So people should focus on measuring the customer satisfaction. What are the points where customer is not happy and they should work to improve the customer satisfaction. Benchmark customer satisfaction is another important point. Under promise and over deliver. Use social networking sites to the advantages. Keep your promise and integrity. Reduction of backlogs. I believe these are the points which makes the customer more happy and satisfied. I will be handing this over to Delli to give a brief detail on the upcoming slides. Thank you.
Hello, this is Delli. I'll be explaining customer satisfaction topic where Kusum is left. Thank you, Kusum, for explaining why customer satisfaction is important in today's market. So coming to the slide, customer programming activities. These are various customer programming activities will help us to get the customer satisfied. Assess internal root cause for customer perceptions, satisfaction drivers, derive action plans to resolve most critical issues, set your objectives, implement below actions. Track your progress with ongoing customer research, link these customer metrics to your financial results and staff incentives, tell your customers how you used to get their feedback. So overall, if you see, the activities should be like set your objectives with customer and track those objectives to make sure that all the objectives are achieved and completed what customer is looking for, and then get the feedback by get from the customer and work on those feedback. So going to the next slide, what are the key points to the customer satisfaction? Quality is one of the key factor in the customer value is another key point to the customer satisfaction, and adhere to the timelines. Timeline is something which is really important, where customer is actually looking for. And then next one is atmosphere, where that the atmosphere, the environment, how you set with the customer is also very important. And service personal issues, and once you deliver the product, then how are you how are you serving the issues with the customers and convenience. Go to the next slide. Measuring customer satisfaction. There are many ways to measure the customer satisfaction. We'll be discussing few here, which is very important in case to get the customer satisfaction. Timely surveys. Timely surveys is something which is really important. Say quarterly surveys or half yearly surveys or yearly surveys. Once you get these surveys, you have to work with your team and the management, and to in order to solve the and or work on those feedback given by customer, and provide the satisfaction to the customer. And weekly meeting is something which you'll have a team who involves with the customer, and the discussion on the topic whichever it is done on the weekly basis. So if you see timely and weekly, they are almost similar, but whereas timely surveys is something which actually goes to the management and org level, and which actually involves the management is involved to achieve the customer satisfaction. And whereas weekly meetings is completely within the team with the a team with the customer. Key driver and analysis and chart report. So these are the after getting the feedback, how are you analyzing the feedback and presenting to the customer. Going to the next slide, different form of measurement. One is annual customer satisfaction. Annually customer satisfaction is something which is very important and used in many organization where to get the feedback from the customer. The second one is online questionnaires. Online questionnaires, again, you post a questions and publish to the customer, get the remarks from the customers and work on those remarks. And the next one is feedback forms. Most of you know what is the feedback forms, where the customer has to fill and send the form. The next one is online polls. Online polls is also been used very famous nowadays. You will be asking question with the options, and you'll be asking multiple attempts from the users with the different users, and the highest answer will be the which service as a feedback from the customer. We'll be taking that feedback and we're working on that. And customer service feedback, you'll have a customer service desk where you'll get the feedback. And other surveys benchmark employee arc alignment. And another one is phone or fax service. You can also get the feedback through phone by calling, or get through the survey fax. The last one is Wikipedia, where you will explain about the get the feedback. The last one is focus group. I mean, like focus group can be a formal and informal to get the feedback. So this is about measurement of the different forms of measurements to get the feedback. Thank you all for attending my session. Now I'll leave it to Chetan to take over from the satisfaction drivers. Thank you again. Bye bye.
Thank you, Delli. I'll be proceeding with the results of various measurements we have done till now. Coming to slide number 10, here we see various satisfaction drivers are listed here, like emotional factor, service quality, price, access to products and services, product quality. These are the various satisfaction drivers. I would like to give an example and explain the importance of various satisfaction drivers. A customer would have brought a product or a service. They would have bought our product and service, and they would have given a very good survey and rating on the survey. But the same customer would have gone ahead and bought a different product, different competitor's product or a service. When we try to find out why the customer would have bought the new product, which is a competitor's product, we can analyze that it can be due to any of the satisfaction drivers like emotional factor, price, etc. Like there will be a slight price difference or emotional factor might be involved, or maybe he would have felt that quality of the other product would be better. So these are some of the satisfaction drivers which can be influencing the customer. Okay, so there is one more thing. Just understanding the requirements of I mean, what customer thinks about product, our product is not sufficient. We should also understand what customer thinks about the competitor's product. If we know that how and in what way a customer thinks, then we can go ahead and implement the features which are there in competitors' product into our product. In that way, our product will have all the features, and even the customer would like to purchase our product instead of going with the competitor's product. And there is one more thing. If a customer is choosing our product compared to other competitors' product, there will be a loyalty factor also. It will measure how much loyal he is with respect to our products, and we should never lose a loyal customer. Coming to the next slide, it is explaining about client complaints, how to resolve the client complaints. First thing is we must apologize whenever there is a mistake from our end, and we should always be ready whenever a client requires us. And we should always help in solving the problems. Survey has revealed that 1.5% of the complaints reach higher management and 20% may reach the frontline executive. The remaining 80% will never go to anybody. Okay, what we have to do here is this 80% of the complaints which are not reported, we have to take care of it, because that is what will impact the organization. Apart from that, we have to take positive approach to the complaints, and if possible, we have to improve the product services and diffuse the such tension. In fact, complaints give the organization a second chance, and it has always to be followed up. I'll be going to the next slide, which talks about key improvements. First thing is we need to effectively communicate with customers, and one example I would like to quote is from the automobile industry, where two new design patterns itself were developed based on the customer feedback and all. One is modular design, another is delayed differentiation. Modular design is standardization, is a form of standardization in which parts are divided into modules that are easily repaired or replaced. Delayed differentiation is a part of a delaying tactic. Delaying tactic where, it went to the next slide. Delaying tactic where the product is not completed into the final stage until the exact requirements are not known. Okay, one of the example which I can quote is regarding the automobile industry, where a car might be not be painted, all the parts will be ready, and the paint is the final deciding factor, which always helps in different customer might like different paints, so it is delayed. The part will be completed, but it will be delayed. The last part will be delayed till the final notice. Okay. Now we have to develop and maintain proper customer service standards, and verbal and non-verbal communication skills also play a very important role. We should always communicate clearly and concisely with all the clients, avoiding the pitfalls. Now I'm going to the next slide. Here, first thing is we should never make these kinds of mistakes. We should always listen properly to the customer. Incorrectly identifying the correct customer priorities will also impact the customer like anything. Okay. Now there is strategic objectives and which every organization would have clearly described. That also should be taken care of, and we have to align organizational process around execution. Like every organization would have its own individual policies, which is very important, and we have to follow the organizational policies. The last thing which I would like to say is, suppose there is a campaign which is losing momentum, we should not go ahead and stop the campaign. Instead, we should try to see what is the disturbances in that campaign and try to solve that. Thank you. Have a nice day.